Shalom, Yasharallah, and all praise and glory to the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His words to be praised for everything. All praise and glory to his holy name. As always, we got to give praise to the most high. We can't say it enough. All praise to the most high. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. So I was dealing with the bridegroom and 10 virgins from Matthew, the 25th chapter, the first verse to the 13th verse. And it's pertaining to the kingdom of heaven. So it's very important that we see this so that we don't get caught up in, you know, many ways that, people, traditions of men, which they have thought to be correct when it's really not correct according to the scriptures. That's why we got to look at, as he's talking about the kingdom of heaven being like 10 virgins and the bridegroom. So when you understand the bridegroom represents the one that a woman is marrying, but he's saying 10 virgins and one bridegroom, which Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, if you go through the previous lesson, I was showing you spiritually concerning what he's talking about pertaining to the kingdom of heaven, because this is what it's about, the kingdom of heaven. And he would not, since he did not sin, he would not bring a parable that would cause you to sin. Understand, overstand it. That's why it's saying, you got to understand, he's saying 10 virgins and one man, which is the bridegroom. He's not going to give you something, because a lot of people say that a man can't have but one wife. So here's a scenario that you got to show Ha Mashayach Yahawashi's off and bring us parable that would have someone think wrong. Am I wrong for bringing this out? The fact that this is a parable of one man and 10 virgins. And it goes through the whole culture that we have as the Israelites pertaining to marriage. We go into a marriage chamber and all that. We have to show all that so you can see, because you can't look at the Bible in our culture like the culture that we've been involved in from captivity to now, or you're going to be off. You're going to be just like they would have you to be, off. Really. And it's just the truth. That's all we're looking at, for the truth, right? So let's deal with the truth. As always, Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, giving thanks to the most high power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, and Issachar. Those 12 tribes. He said he's the power of Israel. That's who the power of. So we give thanks to the Most High. Thank you, Most High, for everything. For this day, for allowing us to be able to go over your word on the Sabbath day and the new moon. We're celebrating the Sabbath and the new moon feast. So understand this. So it's powerful, man. We thank the Most High. But just being able to come back to who we really are, without having to deal with Christian sanity, religions, and different philosophies and, doctrines and so forth, where we can look at the Bible and really understand what it's talking about. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, that's powerful to me, So I'm going to read what we're going over from Matthew, the 25th chapter, from 1 to 13. This is what we're looking at. They say, and remember, like I said, Mashayach is not going to give us a parable that you can follow and you're going to be in sin, because he did not sin. Right? Listen. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins. Now, a virgin is a woman, whether that she have had sex or not. A marriageable age woman is also a virgin. There are many definitions of virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom, which they would call today HUSBAND. But I'm not saying that because that's part of BAAL that they have us saying that is offensive to the Most High. And when we learn these things, we have to change. Simple as that. See? Let me know if you can see that online. Anyone, someone that's there, if you don't mind. So I can kind of get a glance of how close I need to bring it, or if you can see it. Could you see that? Can I get a wand? If you can see this, I'm just trying to see, pretty much get an idea of, because I bring this a lot. I want our people to learn how to stop offending the Most High. Anyone, can you see that? Is that okay right there? Nobody's responding. Okay, well, I've showed it in many of my videos. Most of y'all my videos I show that. So it says to meet the bridegroom, which is the man that the 10 virgins were married. Okay? That's the bridegroom. It said, and 5 of them were wise, verse 2, and 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. Right? So, like I say, I went over a lot of this precepting in the first video that I done, because we talking about the kingdom of heaven. How you gonna make it to the kingdom of heaven? Right? They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. So the ones that was foolish, they took their lamps and they didn't take any oil with them, right? So you got the lamps got to be able to be, bring forth the light. But if you have no oil, you can better bring forth no light, right? When it's time that you need it. So when you look at verse 4, but the wise took oil, and in their vessels with their lamps. So he had oil in their lamps so they can be able to light their lamps and have, let me show you. Here go, this is an oil lamp right here. See, this is an oil lamp. You see that? Got oil in it. And it got the wick right here. See, it got the wick on it. So, yeah. So you can see that. You know what I mean? That's something you can see without shadow of doubt. So an oil lamp like that, right? That's what we're looking at. So it says, verse 3, they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. They have no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. So they had the lamps. You see the oil that's at the bottom of the lamp. And they had extra oil along with them. So just in case, take a little time, they'll be able to, fill the oil lamp up with some more oil to keep the light burning. Right? So looking at us continuing, verse 5, while the bridegroom tarried, I mean, he took a long time. While the bridegroom tarried, he didn't come right away. They all slumbered and slept. They all went to sleep. And like I said, I went through all of this, in the previous lesson, precepting it spiritually. And at midnight, there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. And all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. You like the top of it, it's kind of burned up. You can just cut off the top of the wick, and they trimmed their lamps, right? And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. Remember, Terry took a long time to come, so he said, hey, our lamps done went out. We need some of your oil, because our lamps done went out. But the wise answered, saying, not so. Lest there be lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. So say, I'm not going to give you my oil unless we won't have enough for ourselves. Splitting it with you, right? That's why I said, but the wise answered, verse 9, saying, not so. Lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourself. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, the other 5 that didn't have any oil, that went to buy oil, right? Saying, power, power, Ha Mashayach, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. Ooh. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, excuse me, Salakia, because I just remembered that word goes back to AMEN. Salakia Mosai about so much. But I'm learning, I'm telling you, you can look it up for yourself, that was added in there. So we'll be calling on ZEUS AMEN. That's ZEUS last name, AMEN. The one y'all call on at the end of your prayer, look it up. That's what Alexander established before he left off this earth. He established that. You see? So, and I just learned this, so, I'm trying to, learn how not to say these things in offending the Most High. Offending Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. Very important, Well, we just got to work on these things. Just got to work on them, and remind each other, be there for each other. That's how we change. That's what Mashayach said. You got to be born again. You got to change. That's all he's saying. What's wrong with changing? For the betterment. Especially when it comes down to calling on another deity. The Most High told us in Exodus 23. See, this cat is slick, boy. But he ain't slicking in the Most High. He ain't slicking in the spirit of the Most High, for sure. It says, Exodus 23 and 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. Be cautious. And make no mention of the name of other gods. Said, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. Hear that? Don't let it be heard out of your mouth. The name of other gods. So that's why when we search out these names, and they put these names in the Bible purposely, it don't mean, did it say don't bow down and worship them? Because a lot of brothers will try and use that as an excuse to be saying them. No. He said the names of these gods, don't let it come out of your mouth. Understand, overstand this, man. It's real important. And we try to learn what's right and do what's right. You learn it, live it, and apply it in your life. Joshua 23 and 7. Precept with Exodus 23 and 13. Because remember, Joshua and Caleb, the only ones that was the adults that led us into the promised land. So it says, Joshua 23 and 7, that ye come not among these nations. Most I tell us, don't come among these nations. These that remain among you, that you come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods. Y'all hear that? Now, AMEN is a name of ZEUS last name. Alexander established that before he got up out of here. AMEN is ZEUS last name. And it's many different words that mean AMEN. So we have to look at this for what it is. So, like I told you, VERILY goes back to AMEN. That's why I apologize and repented to the Most High for saying it. TRULY goes back to A-M-E-N. Because I used to say T-R-U-L-Y every time I say V-E-R-I-L-Y. And then somebody, hit me to the point that goes back to A-M-E-N. And we try to change, y'all. What's wrong with changing? Even offends the Most High. Look what Joshua said. Through the power of the Most High. Joshua 23:7. That ye come not among these nations, well, we're scattered among all the nations. Today, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them. That's what I say, but cleave unto the Most High your power as ye have done unto this day. So I'm going to do. I'm going to cleave to the Most High. And as much as possible, try my best not to offend him. That's the problem we have. We're not looking at the Most High. I mean, you got to look at the lesson I did on Hosea 5:15. That changed a lot of how I think. Before that, maybe, I was caught up in like anybody else, whatever. But when I went into Hosea 5:15 breakdown, well, I said, I'm going to go to my place until we acknowledge our offense. And when I got to the point that said till we acknowledge our offense, it took me somewhere. All the way from the garden, all the way to the end of this world that we're in right now. And we offended the Most High and still offending him. And we take him that he have to think and feel the way we feel. And that's totally contrary to the spirit of the Most High. His ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. You're going to tell me that the Most High not going to be offended by the things that we do that offend him? We made him cry. You can't say you love him. You can't feel what I just said. Now you're talking about him, man. That's why we got to really pay attention in these last days. Look at the spirit, man. I'll turn the page. Look. I turn the page, I'll praise the Most High about so much. A lot of times I turn the page, I'll be right there. I turn this page, let me show you what it says. I just turn the page. I'm trying to go back to where I was at, where I want to go, but I turn the page and look where I'm at. Nehemiah 8th chapter. I'm looking right at it. It's underlined for me. Nehemiah 8:6. And I'm just dealing with it because we're dealing with that word V-E-R-I-L-Y, meaning what? A-M-E-N, right? Look what this said. I just turned the page. Y'all couldn't see me, but I know I just turned the page. I know it's a lie. It said Nehemiah 8:6. And Ezra blessed the Most High, the great power. And all the people answered, Amen. Amen. With lifting up their hands, and they bowed their heads and worshiped the Most High, which say L-O-R-D, with their faces to the ground. I'm going to read you again. It's spiritual. With me, I can understand. Hopefully, y'all can understand. Hopefully, I don't have to, from all that I've said so far, and I turn the page and it's right there in my face. Man. All praise to the Most High. About Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. Look, Nehemiah 8:6. And Ezra blessed the Most High, the great power. And all the people answered. Now, Ezra blessing the Most High, right? And all the people answered, Amen. Amen. With lifting up their hands. So what you think people will read that and do? I'm saying, oh, praise to the Most High. What people going to say? Amen. Amen. Y'all say it all the time, man. You hear it all the time in the Christian Insanity religious organizations and so forth. You hear it all the time. Can I get an amen? You see? Now, like I said, I just turned the page. It was right there in my face. I'm saying, talk about it. There is in my face. I ain't go here on purposely. I give the Most High the glory, man. And Ezra blessed the Most High, the great power. And all the people answered, Amen, Amen. with lifting up their hands, and they bowed their heads and worshiped the Most High with their faces to the ground. But who is that they calling on? You catch that? You catch that? Who are they calling on? AMEN. And Ezra blessed the Most High. That's not AMEN. But if you don't know, AMEN has a root going all the way back to AMENRA, and you could cancel it out if you want to. You could change it up to represent some Hebrew word if you want to, from those that believe on this idol. That's what he did. He went into the Persian and Mede idols, and he went to the Egyptian idols, and they was modeled over the Egyptian empire, and he chose AMEN. And he gave their number one god, ZEUS, that last name of AMEN. I asked, who bringing that out? You know, the Spirit of the Most High showed me that. I'm like, man, who bringing it out? You got to bring it out. When you know, you got to change. And Ezra blessed the Most High. This was the Spirit brought. I wasn't coming to this verse, but the subject matter we talk about, you tell me it ain't on point. That's the Most High. I'll give him all the glory for that. And Ezra blessed the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. The great power. And all the people answered, Amen, Amen, with lifting up their hands. Amen, Amen. Come on. Put that in there, man. And they bowed their heads to who? Who they calling on? Who the people calling on? Amen, Amen. And bowed their heads and worshiped the Most High with their faces to the ground. But it say Lord, which is who? Baal. And they put it there, but if you don't really know the way that we've been programmed to not think, first and foremost, of the Most High. We've been programmed not to just look at him by himself. We've been programmed to just, like I tell you, when y'all understand, for real, I can find my pocketbook. Let me show you something. This is what it says, man. And this is what most people in this world are. Hold up, I got one here. My study one. Hold up. It tells you about the past, the present, and the future. That's why we're looking at the kingdom of heaven. It's serious because he tell you this, man. In 2 Ezra 8 and 50, in the Apocrypha, we talking about the kingdom of heaven, the end of this world, in the beginning of the world that's coming. It say, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. Because they have walked in great pride. And the pride is most people in this world now, they're not talking about the Most High. You got to bring him up for him to even be in the conversation. Most people talk about people. They must talk about their life, what's going on in their life, what happened, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. And it ain't really about him, what he done. You know, that's what the prophets did. That was my Mashayach said, I come in the Most High name. He can't represent him. How you going to pray to him and you want him to answer your prayer, but he's not in your conversation? You don't have a means to be able to bring him to someone, especially we that are supposed to be the chosen of the most, at least I won't say the chosen, but the called of the Most High, the children of Israel. Because many are called, few are chosen. You ain't chosen until you made it to the kingdom, to me, with me. You're the chosen one that's made it to the kingdom. But we are the chosen people of the Most High. But he don't use a remnant. You're gonna get a remnant. But you hear what it said? For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. I find people, confront me about sometime about what I'm saying as being pride. I'm not prideful. I'm just teaching the truth, and take it or leave it. Then you got to be able to bring lessons or some kind of precepts to back up how you feel, that you can dictate that, because people say I'm prideful, but how am I prideful when I'm telling you? That's calling me a hypocrite. I am wasting my time for you to listen to me, and I'm prideful. You're wasting your time. If you think I'm prideful, you're wasting your time dealing with me. Straight up. And you're going to be miserable because you're going to pick up the same spirit. But then when you check, then now all of a sudden I'm prideful because I'm telling you how to be right. When I spend my life in this is my life. This ain't something I'm just doing. This is my whole life. Every day, in all kind of ways of thinking and understanding and meditating and praying and fasting and doing all the things that need to be done for the nation. Not only myself, for the nation. Our 12 nations that make up one nation, the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why, look, you can't be prideful. Well, how am I going to read this and then I'm going to end up being prideful? Make that make sense, man. That's why you have to be humble. You have to be humble. Or you're going to be made to be humble. Straight up. Most I got something for you. Trust and believe this. He got something for you. Everybody want to be prideful. Look. How can I read this? You calling me a hypocrite. Straight up. Ecclesiastes 10:7. Pride is hateful before the Most High and man. You hear that? So I'm hated by the Most High and man. Come on now. Gotta make this make sense. 12, verse 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart, which is your mind and your thoughts, is turned away from his maker. And I'm talking about the Most High. Who talk about the Most High? Who really praising the Most High? Talk to me. I've been asking for videos to show me just him. Show me about him. That's what it's about. That's the whole objective of these other nations, is to keep us from the Most High. That's why we in captivity, slavery, and bondage now. That's what you're talking about. The kingdom of heaven, you're going to see it's going to be about being holy, doing what he say do, following what he do, so that how much outside is an example of how we're supposed to be. How you depart from someone that you love and you bring it out. Make that make sense? You can't. Come on, man. It said, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. That's what you're saying. And therefore the Most High brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Man. The Most High have cast down the thrones of proud nations, proud princes, and set up the meek, which are the humble, in their stead. Man. The Most High have plucked up the roots of the proud nations. Now he gonna pluck up the roots of these proud nations that live and operate in these kingdoms right now, and planted the lowly in their place. You hear that? He planted the humble, those that are humble in their place. Not all pride thinking they all that. Shoot, man, I ain't nothing that's all to be. And you either. Or show me what's going to happen within 1,000 years of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi teaching us who? The Most High. You got to jump start right now in what I'm telling you about, learning about him. Being in touch with him. Because these other nations, man, I don't mean go on a tangent, but I just feel that it needs to be said because of the fact of people not really paying attention, man. If they are, y'all might be paying attention to the wrong thing. I mean, we know a part of prophecy part. We do have this truth, and it comes in many facets but I mean, as far as what I'm telling you, and us making the Most High cry, who telling you that? I'm gonna make him cry, and I'm gonna still be prideful. Are you serious? Make that make sense? From what I just read to you, pride turns away from the Most High. When you are prideful, that's when you depart from the Most High, who I'm talking about. We got to stop offending him. and find every way that we can to stop offending him. Why he just took me to that. I can't take no credit for that at all, man. When you turn the Bible and all of a sudden you right there in the subject matter you talking about. That's the Most High. But if you're not spiritual, you might not understand, because maybe it never happened with you. It happened with me all the time. Look at my videos. When I'm teaching, you see I'll be talking about something, I turn the page and be right there, and I give glory to the Most High. Here go these heathen, though. They know this. Ezekiel 39:23. And when you understand this, maybe spiritually, if you're able to be spiritual, you'll be able to see why it is that we have to come back to the Most High. It's more than saying repent and keep the commandments. You better know who gave the commandments. Tell you that. That's before the Most High. But tell me you don't have to. Before the Most High. I ain't got to know you. Are you serious? Do what they know. Ezekiel 39:23. And the heathen, these other nations outside of those 12 tribes of Israel I just named, shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. You hear that? Who that me? Talk to me. Who is that me? It's because they trespass against me. Is that Ezekiel? Think that's Ezekiel talking? That me represent Ezekiel? That's the Most High. Power Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's his name forever and more to all generations. Can't go wrong with that. It said, and the heathen, these other nations, shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, for our wickedness, for our sins, for our evil, because they trespassed against me. That's the Most High. We trespassed against the Most High. Therefore hid I my face from them. So now, you tell me, in your wildest imaginations, that you think you could do whatever you want to do, and the Most High going to show his face toward us. When the heathen know this. So everything that you see, they had our book, they had a Bible, they're making the book, money off the Bibles. They have made us so that we are calling on their God, their idol, and we won't change. Majority. Some of us going to change. That's what Mashayach Yahawashi was telling Nicodemus in John the 3rd chapter. You got to be born again. We definitely have to be born again, because we've been programmed with all type of abominations, religions, and so forth. That's why I call it crisp insanity, because you're insane to believe what it is that we've been programmed to believe, that the enemy programmed us to believe from their perspective. When you went to these cemetery schools, what you went in dead, you came out deader, right? When you look at it, I mean, for what the Bible's really talking about, who are those heathen? You're the heathen, right? Because you're Gentiles. The Jews, they're the Jews, so you're the Gentile, right? You the heathen? Who the heathen? Huh? It said the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. That's why we're looking at the kingdom of heaven. Y'all want eternal life. Y'all want to be able to be in this kingdom that he's talking about. Why he compared it to 10 virgins and the bridegroom. Y'all got to get with that, man. He said, hey, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed, meaning we sinned. We broke the commandments. We broke the laws against the Most High. That me is the Most High. Therefore hid I my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemies. Not our friends, into the hands of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword, because we transgressed the commandments of the Most High. He told us this. He told us this. This is nothing new. We talk about the kingdom of heaven. What we have done caused the Most High to turn his face away from us. He hid his face from us. And hiding his face from us, whatever happened to us, he ain't see it. He wasn't looking at us. He ain't see it. He said, therefore I hid my face from them. He said, according to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Come on. We want the Most High to show his face toward us, that we could be blessed. If not, then we're going to continue in the same circle. That's where I'm at. I mean, I see us going in the same circle. Only new brothers coming in, younger brothers, sharp as ever, but we going in that same circle where we came from the past. When the spirit ain't never stopped, you got to make it mean something different. According to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions, have I done it to them and hid my face from them. So we got to look at least I think it in the spirit. I got to find out a way. Most High, show me a way that we can, whatever we can do to make him turn from hiding his face from us to having his face looking at us, to bless us, and not remain in the curses that we put ourselves in for not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. He said, therefore, thus said the Most High Power, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. His name and our name, Yah, Shah Allah. His holy name. Did he say for our holy name? But see, we always talk about ourselves. Israel, Israel, Israel. He said for his holy name. He got nothing to do with us. His holy name got something to do with us. He said for his holy name. Only thing that have to do with us is that his name, Yah, short for Yahweh, is in our name. That's it. After that, they have borne their shame. Hear that? Have we actually carried our shame? If we still offended him? And I'm showing you things that the Spirit is showing me in these last days to the nation. To the nation. How we got to stop offending him. Any way, shape, or form, man. Y'all need to be thinking about the Most High. Y'all done lost the order. The Most High first. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. Then man. Then woman. That's how it goes, y'all. That's the order. But if you lose the order, it ain't going from Israel to whoever else, then whoever else. Huh? It got to come from the Most High. Or prove me wrong. You got somebody better than him? Ain't no man gonna save us. Ain't no camp, ain't no congregation, ain't no church, ain't none of that. It's the Most High. How much I don't even know. That's why I say when we carry our shame, you know what we're gonna look at our shame is the fact that we realize we offended him and still offended him. And feel for those that are offending him that they can come out of that. In all their trespasses, whereby they have trespassed against me. You hear this? In all our trespasses, we have trespassed against the Most High. Ain't no kingdom of heaven coming until we realize this and seek him. Why he gonna be found? There's gonna be a time he said, you ain't gonna hear you. There's gonna come a time we say, hey, Jacob's trouble, we say, hey, he ain't hearing everybody. Y'all ain't about him. I'm giving you jump start. This is like a futuristic spiritual understanding of how it's gonna be in the future. You hearing it now. You can reject it if you want to. You hearing it and you reject it, that's going in the books. This part, he said, after that, they have carried their shame, man. In all their trespasses, whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. Hear that? When we dwelt safely in our land, nobody made us afraid. Why? Because the Most High was with us, and they knew the Most High was with us. When I have brought them again from the people, he gonna gather us. He gonna get us, because we scattered among all these nations. When he have brought us, this is the Most High. Who do you think that is? What man you gonna put right there that you trust in so much? Who you gonna put right there? Who that I? Because y'all trust in man. Y'all trust in Israel, Israelites, whatever. That I is the Most High. Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's his name forever and immortal to all generations. He said, that's the Most High, have brought them again from the people. You talking about the kingdom of heaven, you better tap into who's going to do it. Who's going to do it besides him? Who do you know going to bring the end of this world that we in right now to the world that's going to come. Talk to me. Who going to do this? Because some of y'all act like man going to do it. You act like whoever your leader is or whoever it is that you believe in more so than the Most High, going to do it. Talk to me. What man? Y'all better learn to elevate the Most High. Y'all better learn to praise the Most High. I'll tell you that. Or tell me I'm wrong. Bring precepts to bring to the point that I'm wrong and saying you better see what he said. When I have brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' lands. That I is your leader. That I is your preacher. That I is your minister, your pastor. Huh? Talk to me. You think it's important? Y'all talking about the kingdom of heaven? Going to the kingdom of heaven. You better understand. You understand this. This is serious. I can't express it no harder than I am. I guess I know I can, but I'm just really serious. Understand this. Don't trip on my voice or whatever, loud, whatever. I'm just serious. I'm serious as could be before the Most High. He know. When that's the Most High, have brought them again from the people. This is what we need. This is what we're looking for. That's who's going to do it. The Most High, that I is the Most High. And he's a nation know that we in captivity behind breaking the Most High's laws. We got pork the other white meat. Men with men, women with women, all kind of things that's abominable to the Most High is acceptable in this world. He said, when that's the Most High, have gathered them again from the people. Again and again. We've been gathered from the people again and again and again. Captivity over here, captivity over there, captivity over here, captivity over there. We cry to the Most High. We're going to do what you say do. We're going to do what you say do. Because we're being beat down. We're tired of being in captivity. Then he have pity on us and bring us into the land. Then he said, hey, do you see what he just said? He kicked us out the land, turned his face away from us, hid his face from us. Then we cried to him again. When we admit that we have been shameful before him and trespass his laws and commandments that they say you ain't under. See that? Who taught our people that we ain't got to follow the Most High? Where'd that come from? That you ain't got to follow him? You ain't under the law. Who started that? Who started? We don't have to follow the Most High's laws and commandments. But yet still you got to pray for him and he got to answer your prayer, but you ain't got to do what he say do. Make that make sense, man. I can tell this to a little child. A little child gonna say, that don't make no sense. But how come we as adults can't see that? Because you destroyed for lack of knowledge, because you have forgotten the law of the Most High. I tell you that in Hosea 4:6. All this is here, man. That's right. I mean, he's telling you. He said, and gather them out of their enemies' lands. Not your friends' lands, but he said, out of your enemies' lands. And I'm sanctifying them in the sight of many nations. That's what's going to happen, y'all. He's going to be sanctifying us, the Israelites, before many nations. Then so they know that I am the Most High, their power. There's a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. We going to know that he is the Most High, our power. Only those that's going to realize it's about him. You don't realize it's about him. You think you still talk about Krum Yasharala and Israel, and people. Every time you talk about the Most High, y'all go back to people. They ain't talking about you. Ain't talking about you. And it's being written in the books. Understand this. It's being written in the books, and the book's gonna be open. It's gonna be like, hey man, you ain't think about me. You're gonna say to Poppy, I don't know you. This is what we're looking at. We just read it. We gonna read it. If we didn't read, we gonna read it. You're gonna see. He said, hey, he gonna gather us out of our enemies' lands and sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. Then so they know that I am the Most High, their power. That's powerful, y'all. Which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. But I have gathered them unto their own land and have left none of them anymore there. Whoa. neither will I hide my face any more from them. Man, yeah. For I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, said the Most High Power. How can we say he poured out his spirit amongst every nation? Huh? Y'all say, hey, anybody can get the spirit of the Most High? He said, I have poured out my spirit upon the house, the family of Israel, said the Most High Power, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Who we say he is? Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's it, man. If you're not of Jacob, hey, he's not your power. But we're going to have people that's going to be in the strangers and all other nations going to be in the kingdom. What is a righteous kingdom? What's wrong with being righteous? That's the problem I have. What's wrong with being righteous? Nothing. Shouldn't be nothing wrong with being righteous. So you see the heathen know. So what you think? They're going to teach you the right way? What Malcolm say? If they don't teach you the right way, they definitely ain't going to teach you the right way. So now, let's continue. I digress. That's how excited I am about, who I serve, the Most High, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, by SHAM Mashayach Yahawashi. But I'm going back, Matthew 25. We start at verse 7. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, not even so, right? It said, lest there be none, not enough for us and you together. They said, if I give you my oil, ain't gonna be enough for us. Because they supposed to have been operating with their own oil, with their own oil to have the light. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. The man that's supposed to be marrying these 10 virgins came. And Ha Mashayach Yahawashi telling the story. And they that were ready, which are the 5 virgins, went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage. It's talking about a marriage, y'all. 5 women marrying 1 man. And they that were ready went in with him into the marriage, and the door was shut. Like I said, Mashayach Yahawashi, they're going to give us something that will be an abomination or a filthy wicked act or a sin. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Ha Mashayach, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. That's serious. Watch therefore, for you know not, for you know neither, Salakia, watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. You don't know the day or the hour wherein Ha Mashayach Yahawashi gonna come. Because he has said in the chapter before this, and he already told him in Matthew 24:36, he said, but of that day and hour, Matthew 24:36, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. You see? So the Most High, the only one that know when that day of righteousness on this earth is going to come. So if he's the only one that know, I mean, don't take a rocket science to figure this out. Don't you think we should be trying to find out as much as we can to please him and do what he say do, when the heathen are having us to be transgressing the Most High's laws and his commandments? That's their job. That's what they're about. Because look, it's their whole thing, man. This what they are in this for. Look at Luke 12. Go to Luke 12, 12th chapter. We're going to look at verse 36 and 37. And you yourselves like unto men, this is my outside speaking, that wait for their power. And I sound like using that word Lord because, like I said, if you can see right there, that's from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, BAL. In any dictionary, it means Lord. And I know that, a lot of you don't even say the Most High. You mainly say Lord, more so than anything. And that's sad, but that's what it means. And it's like in these last days, knowledge going to be increased. And that part I think we need to really look at, because the elite had our Bibles for a long time. And that's their idol. And they put their idol in the Bible, so you call them their idol. And they'll tell you, I showed you many times, even on Jeopardy. Anybody want to look at it? You can go back on some of my videos. I expose it in a lot of my videos, even on Jeopardy. I can't do it now because I'm on my phone and I have the information on my phone, but I've showed you many times on Jeopardy. They asked on the panel, they said, what is the name of the 4-letter Canaanite god, Lord? And boop, the dudes hit it real fast. He said, Baal. I'm spelling it because I took y'all to Exodus 23 and 13. Most I say we're not supposed to let the name of these gods come out of our mouth. So I'm spelling it so for edification. That's what he said. The Canaanite god, the 4-letter name of the Canaanite god, Lord. And he hit it real fast and said, Baal. I ain't making this up. For real. That's what he said. And it's right there for everybody to see. But, we can come up with an excuse and say, oh, well, it don't mean that. It means this. It means this. Or where you get your Hebrew. We said it in Hebrew, So what we said it back in the day. Certain things we said we didn't know. Because who's exposing this in these last days? The spirit ain't never stopped. Back here, that's the best we could beat. TV shows, that's the best we could beat. And we still don't bring it out like that. We didn't know. Like certain things I don't know, and you don't know. I mean, we look at each other to feed on each other to be able, okay, that work? Okay, let's do it. That's where I'm at. Let's roll with it. Okay, where it come from? Come from a little child, man. We're going to roll with it. Come on, y'all. Especially when it comes out of the Most High. Hebrews 10:31. You know it got to come, y'all. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. That's what I'm talking about. Why ain't nobody really talking about going through the throne of the Most High? Tell them they can do whatever they want to do. And the proof is in the pudding right here. What they've done. Put it in your face. Wait a minute. I got another one here. I got to keep doing it. Nobody else when I say they know, but they ain't really looking at how important this is. Because who really love the Most High enough to put it in their face? Put it in your face. You see that? This from the New Unger's Bible Dictionary. That was the Zondervan Bible Dictionary out there, compact Bible Dictionary I just showed you. It's the same thing, isn't it? The same thing. Baal means Lord. Come on. Yeah, we got change. And they put it in here so you call it on their God. Baal. Luke 12:36. And ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their power, when he will return from the wedding. You know that? When he going to return from what? The wedding. And then what we just reading about, he gonna return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. Right? Blessed are those servants whose the power, when he cometh, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, when he cometh, shall find watching. They're looking. They're watching. Barely, excuse me. See, that's why I told you I have to, matter of fact, I need to just cross it out. That way I won't say it. You don't need it. Look, I'm gonna show you. Every time they wrote that there, VERILY, which goes back to AMEN. We don't need it. You don't need it. Look, they put it there. And go back to, I'm just telling you, do y'all understand hundreds and hundreds of years of having our scriptures? We could not read. We could not write. We could not, it was against the law for us to read. So they had our Bible. And these are the things that I have done. And as we find out and share with each other, then we change. What's wrong with changing for the betterment of not offending the Most High? So we carry our shame. We shame the Most High by calling on him and using these names of these other gods they put in the Bible, that we would follow their way, so that knowing that he's the only one that captivity for our iniquity. That's what you got to understand. If you don't understand that, then hey, you're going to continue to remain in the congregation of the dead. Straight up. Look, as for me and mine, we're going to change. Blessed are those servants. Who are the servants? Who are the servants? Everybody not a servant. Blessed are those servants. He ain't talking about everybody. He ain't talking about every nation. But y'all use it and say, hey, see, the servant, I'm a servant because I believe in Jesus. No. Baruch 3:36. He have found out all the way of knowledge. That's why I say it's very important to look at these definitions from the Bible. Let the Bible define these words. And you see, you can't nobody gainsay on this. He have found out all the way of knowledge and have given it unto Jacob, his servant. You see? He have given it to Jacob, his servant. So you see servants, he's talking about the children of Israel. We are Jacob. That's our forefather. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Them 12 tribes, y'all. And to Israel, his beloved. You see, beloved is talking about the Israelites. Point blank. That's why I say, when you look at these definitions that I'm giving you, they're right to the point. Or they'll be challenged, y'all. Some of you going over there, your precept that you bring it is not as strong as it could be. It should be. These precepts I'm giving you, definitions, you can't gainsay on this. You're right to the point. Isaiah 44:1. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi says servants. Look who the servants. Isaiah 44:1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant. You see? And Israel, whom I have chosen. See, Most High chose us, man, as the Israelites. All praise to the Most High. About SHAM. Look, going back to Luke 12:37. Blessed are those servants, those Israelites, whom the power, when he cometh, shall find watching. Don't find watching. I say unto you that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. Man. Okay, now let's see what it says. If I put what VERILY says, and we put that there, now listen how it says, what's being said. See if y'all catch this. Blessed are those servants, who are the Israelites, whom the power, which LORD represent who? BAAL, when he cometh, shall find watching. Okay. Now what's it say? Amen. I say unto you that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down or to meat and will come forth and serve them. That's who's going to do it. Amen. It's very important. That's why we got to be open to change, man. We got to be open to be born again. We got to be open to become a new man, a new woman, a new creature. That's why he said, and if he shall come in the second watch or come in the third watch and find them so, blessed are those servants. Blessed are those Israelites. Because the Israelites are the servants. We just proved that. 2 places. And this know that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not have suffered his house to be broken through. Be ye therefore ready always. That's why I say you got to be ready. It's too late to get ready. We say, be ye ready always. Also, be ye therefore ready also. For the Son of Man cometh at an hour when you think not. Now he told us, man, he said he coming like a, look. He just said, you know when the thief coming, right? You be ready for him, right? So you know he's coming. Now he's telling you be ready because he's telling you here in 2 Peter's 3 and 10. But the day of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, when he come through the power of the Most High, will come as a thief in the night. You see that? He's going to come like a thief in the night. We're talking about the kingdom of heaven. He's going to come like a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Straight up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, you're going to melt everything. What manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and righteousness? Talking about the laws and the commandments of the Most High wrote with his finger. And righteousness, still dealing with the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Holy, righteousness, same thing. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, while Mashayach Yahawashi, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's why it's very important to know the definition of these words. So when you see that, nobody can gainsay on it. What I'll tell you, what's righteousness? Like I say, when he come, he's coming to judge and make war in righteousness. So he's gonna set up righteousness on this earth. I challenge you, what's wrong with being righteous when you know what righteousness is? Deuteronomy 6:25. Deuteronomy 6 and 25 defines righteousness. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, which he hath commanded us. That's righteousness. That's the definition of righteousness. Doing the commandments of the Most High. So now going back to Luke 12 and 37 again, it said, hey, well, we get 36, and you yourselves like unto men that wait for their power, when he will return from the wedding. We read about that wedding, kingdom of heaven, like, the wedding they just talked about, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. And he knocked. They may open up to him immediately. Blessed are those servants, for the Israelites, we find, whom Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, when he cometh, shall find watching. You can eliminate that word BIRILY because I just showed you that represents AMEN. He said, I say unto you that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat and will come forth and serve them. All praises to the Most High. Wow, Mashayach Yahawashi. Now let's look at Revelation 3:20. Can you imagine that? Ain't gonna be no. If he gonna serve us some food, you know it's gonna be the best food you ever. Just like when you made the first miracle he done. He turned water into wine. See, that was the best wine that they had at the wedding. So you say the best for last. That's the wine that Ha Mashayach Yahawashi made. Well, people say you can't drink, but hey, that's the first miracle he done. Was turn water into wine. Come on. They called him a wine bibber and a gluttonous. You know, come on, gluttonous and a wine bibber. He drank wine in moderation. Well, you can call him no wine bibber. He ain't drink no wine. I'm telling you, Christian insanity people. They say you can't drink. Come on, man. Stop faking it. Let me show you. I don't like to say nothing. Can't prove it. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, man. They call him a wine bibber, gluttonous, man. I tell you, I haven't been there in a while. I'll come back to it. I can't find it. But they call him and say, yo, wine bibber. Maybe one of y'all could look it up for me. Say you wine bibber. They call him a wine bibber and a gluttonous. A gluttonous and a wine bibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. So I know it go to with Genesis. And they prophesied. Let me see if it's prophesied about him in Genesis 49 and 10. It said, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, which Mashayach Yahawashi came out of Judah. Hebrews 7:14 said, but it is evident that our power, Mashayach Yahawashi, sprang out of Judah. No lawgiver between his feet until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Mashayach Yahawashi, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass his coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garment in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine. See, that's what it is. His eyes shall be red with wine. You know, I think 19 and 16. No, that ain't it. Matthew 11:19. Sorry, that Matthew 11:19. There it is. Tawada, Thomas. Matthew 11:19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a wine bibber. See? And a wine bibber. A friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of her children. See? So, man, what kind of, when we sit down, look, go back to Revelation 3. The water for that. You know, look, go back to Revelation 3 and 20. He said, behold, he said, I stand and knock. Excuse me, I stand at the door, Salaki. He said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me. Man, what kind of supper is that going to be? Can you imagine that? I'll think about that. I'll be like, man, if only, having a chance to be right there, man. See, I will come into him and will sup with him. And he said, we're going to sit down and eat dinner with a Mashayach Yahawashi, man, and he with me. To him that overcometh. That's the condition of the battle. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne. You see? Go be his throne first. Even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. You see? That's powerful, man. Man, that's going to be beautiful. Can you imagine that? That's why you got to overcome, man. First thing you got to overcome is this. It's one of the first things you got to overcome. Because it's all the time looking at us and dealing with us. 1 Peter 5 and 8. 1 Peter 5 and 8 said, be sober. Like they say, he's a wineman, but he drank in moderation. You drink moderation, but you ain't no drunkard. Because that's why they call it spirits. They say, hey, be sober, be focused, y'all. Be vigilant. Because your adversary, your enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. That's his job, man. Seeking whom he may devour. That's why I tell you, man. In Revelations 12 and 12. It's his job, man. Especially now. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe be destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, same devil we're talking about, is come down unto you, having great wrath. Why? Because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And as long as he got you calling on his gods and his idols and this, that, and the third, and you offended the Most High, hey, he gonna come down with much wrath when he realizes he got a short time. Because there's gonna be a lot of us gonna wake up and realize our shame and stop shaming, being ashamed before the Most High, man, and start doing what he wants us to do. Or you're gonna fall into this. Revelation 12:17. And the dragon, which is the same devil, was wrought with the woman, which represents the 12 tribes of Israel. When you read Jeremiah 6 and 2, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Symbolically. So the devil gonna be wroth with the woman. The dragon gonna be wroth with the woman. Satan gonna be wroth with the woman. The beast gonna be wroth with the woman. The superpower of the earth gonna be wroth with the woman. The Edomites gonna be wroth with the woman, with the Israelites, symbolically, and went to make war with the remnant. You hear that? The remnant of her seed. That's that 1/3. That's the same remnant that's gonna be on them chariots, man. Which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of a Mashayach Yahawashi. Try whatever they want to try, but the answer is in the scriptures. How it's going to be, man, without a shadow of a doubt. Nobody can gainsay this. It tells you Jacob's trouble. Checking it 1671. It says, well, let's read verse 70. But there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Most High. Is that why people not teaching the fear of the Most High? They done read this and figured out, hey, they're going to avoid this? Oh, no. It's going to be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Most High. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling, robbing, and destroying those that fear the Most High. Coming down on those that keep the commandments of the Most High, the testimony of a Mashayach Yahawashi. But they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold is in the fire. That's right, man. Said, hey, hear, O ye my beloved. And we know that's why it's very important to know these definitions That's right on point. We just read in Baruch 3:36. Remember, it said, Israel, my beloved. So it's talking about the Israelites. O ye my beloved Israelites, said the Most High, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. Jacob's trouble, right? But I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. I mean, you got to have strong faith. But the Most High is your guide. If you believe in him, how you going to be your guide and you ain't talk about him? You ain't a bottle. The Most High is your guide and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts. Said the Most High, your power, our power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe, destruction unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities. Like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. You just caught up in, oh, woe was me, woe was me, woe was he. Talk about the people. Say, don't be doing that. Not if you got faith in him. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. That's where you don't want to be. And that's what Ezra left us with. In the end, that's what it's going to be. They're going to be cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. All of them that don't want to do what they're supposed to be doing, first and foremost, started with the Most High. Better believe this. 1 Peter's the first chapter. So we got to, go back to 1 Peter's 5 and 8 again. Be sober. Be focused, y'all. Don't be no drunkard. You can drink in moderation. Don't be drinking all the time when you become an alcoholic. Because you're going to have the wrong spirit or getting high and all that. Be vigilant. Because your adversary, your enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion ready to kill something, ready to pounce on something. Walking about seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, in the Most High. He got to follow the Most High. You got to do the same thing that Ha Mashayach Yahawashi did when he was 30 years old to start his ministry. And fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Who came after him? The devil. And what did he do? He went to the law every single time to rebuke him. Y'all ain't going to never know that if you ain't taught the law. You don't know where he went. You should know where he went. Many times I done went over, you should be able to know how to rebuke the devil. Go to them laws, man. You got to bow down to the Most High. You got to believe. You got to follow the Most High. Him shall you serve, and him only. Everybody going to bow down to the Most High, man. Whom resist steadfast in the faith. Your faith to believe. The same way Ha Mashayach Yahawashi rebuked them, you can rebuke them too. We can. Knowing that the same afflictions, here we go, are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world, man. Don't sound like no lot of love and happiness and joy. Same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world, man. But the Most High said what? He going to bring us out of it. He told us, man, look. 2 Ezra 2, man. For your future. What did he say? 2 Ezra 2 and 26. As for the service whom I have given thee, Esau, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Said, be not weary. Don't be weary. But when the day of trouble, that's Jacob's trouble, and heaven is coming, others shall weep and be sorrowful. But you shall be merry and have abundance. Some of us going to reap this, y'all. Why it's worth doing whatever we can do not to offend the Most High so he can give us this. Or it's going to be martyrs. I mean, we're going to have to follow through with everything that's said. I can't say I'm going to be here. You can't say you're going to be here. Hopefully, we hope and pray that the Most High fulfill what he says here upon us. But if not, then, hey, we're going to deal with the judgment that the Most High give us. You guys know you have no choice. But hopefully, you know, we'll be worthy that this will fall on us. In 2 Corinthians 2 and 26, it says, as for the servants, we know who the servants are. Right, class? We know who the servants are. We didn't find that in two places. The Israelites, whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful. But you shall be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall not be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Most High. See, my hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, women that have children that's in this truth. For I will deliver thee, saith the Most High. Oh, man, don't that sound great? That sound, man, I can read that over and over and over again. That sounds, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's beautiful. Now we're going to go to First Peter's, the first chapter, and look at verse 9. Receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. Now, salvation, I would say, means power, rulership, and authority. Power, rulership, and authority. Because it said, of which salvation, of which power, rulership, and authority the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesy of the grace, which is getting something you don't deserve to get, that should come unto you, that we have now. Searching what? Or what manner of time the spirit of a Mashayach, which was in them. You hear that? The prophets had the spirit of a Mashayach in them. How was that? If he just came on the earth for the first time in existence in Matthew. Huh? How was that? In the New Testament. The prophets of the Old Testament had the spirit of a Mashayach in them. See, that's a mystery. Did signify when it testified beforehand the sufferings of a Mashayach and the glory that should follow. See? He suffered. He died for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. And he prayed, look. See, we talk about the kingdom of heaven. It don't change. It's just looking at it spiritually for what it is that's written that we can get out of it, you know? Look at John 17th chapter. It said, and these words spake Ha Mashayach Yahawashi and lifted up his eyes to heaven. He looked up in the sky and said, Father. Now, all you that believe that he is the Father, he's talking to himself. Why ain't say myself? He looked up in the sky and said, Father. That's the Most High, y'all. The hour is come. This is what he called himself. Glorify thy Son. Glorify your Son. That your Son, thy Son, may glorify thee. You. That's two different entities. That's why I say, man, this is crazy. So now he asks a question. This is a prayer that he's praying before they crucified him, before the so-called white man crucified him, before the wicked Israelites gave him over to the so-called white man, and the so-called white man crucified him. Look what he said, verse 5. And now, remember the prophets, you know, they talked about how Ha Mashayach Yahawashi would come on this earth and suffer and the glory that followed, right? So it said, hey, and now, O Father, John 17:5, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. You hear that? He said, and now, O Father, glorify thou me. That's Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. Asking the Most High to glorify him with thine own self, with the Most High, with the glory which I had with thee, with you, before the world was. That's why they're telling you the future. When the prophets searching what? In 1 Peter 1 and 11, searching what? Or what manner of time the spirit of a Mashayach, which was in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand, the sufferings of a Mashayach and the glory that should follow. So he prayed for what? The glory which he had with the Most High before the world was. So once he, y'all bear with me because I'm just bringing it as a story. You know, one day they might make a movie out of this. I know he used to come out to the beach all the time in the early 90s. Talk about the chariots before Independence Day came out. I know that. Act 1 and 9. It said, and when they had spoken these things, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. A cloud received him out of their sight, right? And this cloud is defined in Psalms 104 and 3. Who maketh the beams of his chariots, who maketh the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. See, the clouds are his chariot. Who walketh upon the wings of the wind, right? And Psalm 68 and 17 show you who drive these chariots. We call them IFOs. You know, I see that they get ready to start exposing a lot of these UFOs. Trump's still calling them UFOs, unidentified flying objects. They get ready to start exposing a lot of things that's on this earth that's been hidden. But most people, now just who's driving them chariots. Psalm 68, 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. See that? The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. So the angels are the one that's driving the chariots, which are called the clouds. Because they're a cloud in the day and a fiery chariot at night. So now Daniel seen that prophecy come to pass as he prayed right there. Daniel seen the prophecy of his prayer being answered. Now remember, he ascended up into a cloud, right? A chariot. Daniel 7:13. And I saw in the night visions, because that's how the Most High speaks to us through dreams and visions. And behold, one like unto the Son of Man, and Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, came with the clouds of heaven, came with the angels, in the chariots, in the IFOs, identified flying objects. They call them UFOs, unidentified flying objects. We know what they are. And came to the Ancient of Days, who was the Most High. Ain't nobody more older than the Most High. And they brought him near before him. Listen, and they were giving him, when we prayed for certain things, and they were giving him dominion and glory. You see, his prayer was answered. It was giving him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed. That's right. That's why I said in verse 27, and the kingdom and the dominion and the greatest of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. That's the children of Israel, that remnant, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Better understand, everybody gonna serve and obey Ha Mashayach Yahawashi in that day. So that's what they're saying. They're looking at this. Going back to 1 Peter's 1st chapter, verse 11, searching, just the prophets, man, searching what? Or what matter of time the spirit of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, which was in them, did signify when it testified beforehand the sufferings of a Mashiach and the glory that should follow. So they had the spirit of a Mashiach, and they had the spirit of the Most High. And it's defined right here, tell you in Isaiah 11 and 2, because people talking about they got the spirit of the Most High. I don't even know what the spirit of the Most High is. If you got the spirit of the Most High, you can do these things. This first and foremost, talk about Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, verse 1. Let's look at verse 1. Isaiah 11 and 1, and there shall come forth out a rod out of the stem of Jesse. Jesse is King David's father. And a branch shall grow out of his roots. That's Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. He's that branch. And the spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom. This is the spirit of the Most High. Yes, somebody got the Holy Spirit. The Holy Ghost, this is the spirit of the Most High. We found no word for ghosts in the Hebrew, but anyway, the spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him. What is defined as? The spirit of wisdom, which is the proper application of knowledge and understanding. Once you have the proper application of knowledge, to depart from evil, which is understanding. The spirit of counsel, how to counsel somebody from these scriptures. And might, that's spiritual power. By SHAM, the spirit of knowledge, gathering the right information, and of the fear of the Most High. That's very important. So they know this, man. That's what they had. The spirit of a Mashayach, the spirit of our big brother, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. Going back to 1 Peter's, the first chapter, verse 12. Unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. That's very important, because you got angels on the right hand, you got angels on the left hand. The angels know what's on the right hand, they know what they know. The ones on the left hand know what they know. You know, we have opportunity as dealing with, you see, that the angels desire to look into. When you look at what it is that he revealed to us, they didn't have revelations. You know, the ones that walked the earth, anyone walked the earth, they didn't have a book of Revelations. But here we are in these last days, man, having a whole volume of the book, and then so many things that go with it outside the Bible. Look at Hosea 6. It says, come. It says, no, that's not what I want. No, that's not it. But that's letting us know in 2 days we're gonna be like, that's where I can go there, because it's very important that we see that it's coming. It tells you in well, let me read that anyway. Since the Spirit brought me there. Hosea 6 and 1, it said, come and let us return, because a lot of times I'm calling on scriptures and I don't go there. And I was like, okay, well, let me see what the Spirit is bringing. It said, come and let us return unto the Most High. Right on point. Let us return unto the Most High, for we have torn. We've been in captivity in all these different nations, and he will heal us. He's going to heal us. He has smitten us, and he will bind us up. He's going to bind us up, yo. After 2 days, will he revive us? In the third day, he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. You see? And we understand a day to the Most High is, look at 2 Peter 3 and 8. But beloved, 2 Peter 3 and 8. But beloved, and we know who the beloved are, Israel, my beloved. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Most High as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. So his time is not like our time, no way, shape, or form. So it said in Hosea 6 and 2, Well, let's read verse 1 because it's very important. Come and let us return unto the Most High. We got to return to the Most High, y'all. That's what I was talking about earlier. So it's in the spirit. For real, for real. Because he like to be bragged about. He like to be talked about. His name is Jealous. So yeah, we're going to talk about him. I'm going to bring him out. Come and let us return to the Most High. But he torn us up, man. He told us he's going to do it. Like, if you notice future prophecies, what's going to happen, you're supposed to be ready. So you know what's going to happen. We have torn, and he will heal us. He has smitten, and he will bind us up. After 2 days, after 2,000 years, will he revive us. In the third day, we're in the third day right now, y'all. It started after 2,000. In the third day, he will raise us up, and he's raising us up. The kingdom of heaven comes without observation. You can say over here, over there. No, it's going to be raised up right in front of their face. And we shall live in his sight. That's what he talked about. Then shall we know, if that's a condition, we follow on to know the Most High. Y'all think it's not important to know as much as we can about the Most High, the only one that's going to redeem us from this captivity and set up righteousness on this earth? That's why I say anybody don't want to be in a righteous kingdom, the Most High going to burn you up. You deserve that. We talking about a righteous kingdom. We talking about the kingdom like we have now. People suffering all that. Ain't nobody gonna be no more tears, man. No more sadness, no more pain, no more sorrow. No, come on. Y'all don't want that? Then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Most High. His going forth is prepared. His going forth is prepared. Y'all, the kingdom is prepared for us. Waiting on us to get our knuckleheads together, man. His going forth is prepared as the morning. And he shall come unto us as the rain, as the latter and former rain upon the earth, man. He cometh. Now I want to go to 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 1. It say, dare any of you, 1 Corinthians 6 and 1, say, dare any of you having a matter against another, go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints? A lot of y'all have problems, man. Y'all call up Esau, call up the law enforcement without going through the council of the saints, the Israelites that have been set up to counsel our nation. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? We got to define the saints. Because it said the saints going to judge the world. Psalms 148 and 14. Psalms 148 and 14. Psalm 148 and 14. He also exalted the horn, the power of his people, the praise of all his saints. Who the saints? Even of the children of Israel, who are we? A people near unto the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. So that defines the saints right there. Even of the children of Israel, who are we? A people near unto the Most High. So I say praise the Most High. So it say, look, 1 Corinthians 6, talking about the angels. So I say you got angels on the right side, angels on the left side. Listen what it say. 1 Corinthians 6 and 2. Do ye not know that the saints, or the children of Israel, shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Listen, know ye not? Don't you know this? That we shall judge angels? Huh? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? That's what it's saying. But see, we can't see that because You have to be spiritual to know you're going to be able to judge something that is spiritual. Make sense? It should. Look, 1 Peter 1:12, unto whom it was revealed to the prophets of the Old Testament, y'all, that not revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. See, the angels desire to look into. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind the way you think. That's why I say you got to change the way you think. So I say, wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind. Be sober and hope to the end for the grace that's getting something you don't deserve to get, that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. When he come break through them clouds, man, come down like he gonna descend, like he ascended up in the cloud, he gonna descend in the cloud. That's why we gotta be ready. Man, say, gird up your loins, the loins of your mind, the way you think. And be sober, be focused. Don't be sitting around here being drunk and high and all that, man. You ain't making it. Just come, you ain't gonna have your right mind. You gonna know. To be sober and hope. That's your faith, man, in the Most High, to the end for the grace that is to be brought up to you. Who the grace for? See, all these things matter when you look at defining what it is that's said you can't gainsay on. We didn't define the saints, right? Even of the children of Israel who are people near to the Most High, praise ye the Most High in Psalm 148:14. Now it says the grace that should come to you. So when you see that, matter of fact, we ain't got to go there. First and foremost, look who Peter's talking to. We gonna go there. We'll define it, but look who Peter's talking to. 1 Peter 1:1. Peter, you go through most of these beginning of these chapters of these verses, and they're gonna show you who it's talking to. Peter, an apostle of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Elect. That's very key right there. So these are strangers. Like some of you might be strangers to me. We don't know each other. You might know of me, but you really don't know me, and I don't know you. You see? We're strangers, but we still Israelites, you see? It says, hey, Peter, an apostle of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus. He don't know these people, but he know they're Israelites. Pontus, that's why they're strangers. Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Elect. This is why you know it's not talking about anyone, any nation that's called themselves, a stranger, because it's got two types of strangers. Strangers of the other nations, you got the strangers right here that are the elect, according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, who's the power of who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's who the elect are. That's why I said we have to keep reviewing it, but these, pretty soon, it'll be natural. You already know how to define these words that's being said here in the New Testament from what's written that they only had to go by, and that's the law and the prophets, the Old Testament, period. That's all they had to go by, y'all. So who are the elect? Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect. Can get no clearer than that. That's why I like those precepts that's right to the point blank. Israel mine elect. So without a shadow of doubt, it's talking to the Israelites. Y'all see that? Anybody not see it? I mean, I can go over it. I can go some more. If you don't see it, don't be ashamed to say, I don't see it, or, give me a little bit more. Because that says it right there. I mean, it's pretty clear. Elect, Israel, mine elect. Israel, my beloved. Is that what we're saying? It's right to the point. Now, going back to 1 Peter 1:2. Elect. So we know the elect are these strangers that's in all these different lands that he's, bringing out in verse 1 are Israelites, because he said, Israel, mine elect. Israelites are the elect. According to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, who is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, through sanctification, cleaning up of the spirit unto obedience. It's very important. Unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Mashayach Yahawashi, grace unto you. Grace unto you. Grace unto you. Because they like to say, we're not under the law, we're under grace. This grace is not for everyone. It's only for the Israelites. Grace unto you. So far, you see any other nations in this? Can you put any other nation in this? Who Peter's talking to? As strangers. The other nation are the elect. Israel mind elect. So it said, grace unto you and peace be multiplied, right? So now, when we look at Wisdom of Solomon 4:15, who is this grace for? This the people saw and understood it not. Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. Neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints. You see, the grace is with the saints. The mercy is with the saints. So his grace and mercy is with his saints. And we just define the saints where? In Psalms 148:14. He said, a people, he said, Israel, the children of Israel, people near to him. Praise ye the Most High. So the saints are the Israelites. Can y'all still hear me on the conference call? Well, it just did something. I don't know what that was. It just changed the whole background. Everything changed. Can y'all still hear me? So it said, this the people saw and understood it not. Neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints. You see? So when it say grace, it ain't talking about no one but the Israelites, to the saints. That's what we got to look at, y'all. So now that we know that without a shadow of doubt, the book of Peter is talking to the Israelites. 1 Peter 1:13. It says, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, and when you think, be sober. You gotta be focused and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you. Who the grace for, y'all? Everybody know the grace is to the saints. Grace and mercy is to his saints, who are the Israelites. At the revelation of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. You see? As obedient children. This is very important, y'all. As obedient children. Not fasten yourself according to the form of lust in your ignorance. You know? We got obedient children. I mean, you're going to be doing what the Most High tell us to do. His rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments. You're going to be following what he says as obedient children. Not fasten yourself according to the form of lust. I used to be in your ignorance, like the world is in ignorance. Gross darkness, man. Gross ignorance. He told Esau to shut up and get thee in the darkness in Isaiah 47:5. And we went into darkness. He put the people in gross darkness in Isaiah 16:2. Gross ignorance. That's why it's so hard to get our people come out of this ignorance. Because they've been programmed from the point of us being enslaved, him having our Bible from 1492 on to now, and publishing the Bible, making the money off the Bible, putting whatever they want to put in there while we enslaved and can't learn how to read or write or whatever. So now here it is, this little that you're trying to stop from being shameful before the Most High and shaming him, and us actually saying, he understand how I feel. He know my heart. He know my spirit. Yeah. And he know that he going to put you to death. He going to burn you up for offending him. That way, I'm going to go to my place till we acknowledge our offense, how we offended him. Until we acknowledge the fact that we offended him and stay there and don't go nowhere else and look at how man, is that offending the Most High? Is that offending the Most High? And look at what we can do to please him instead of ourselves. He got to do whatever you want him to do for you, but you ain't got to do what he said, tell you to do. Instead of offending him, man. That's also as obedient children. Not fashioning yourselves according to the form of lust in your ignorance, man. That's why he said, man. Romans 12. Well, let's start at verse 1 since we're dealing with our big brother, Mashayach Yahawashi. That's what we got to do. I said, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High. That's not getting something you deserve to get many times, man. That's what he's telling us, man. Many times he could have did this and did that, but he didn't do it. That's his mercies, man, that he give us. That you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Holy. How do you present your body a living sacrifice? First thing it says is holy. Define holy. He told us the definition of holy a few chapters back in Romans 7 and 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good. You see? So keeping the commandments, keeping the laws make you holy and just and good. So they say, hey, I beseech you therefore, brethren, Romans 12 and 1. By the mercies of the Most High, many times he not giving us what we deserve to get, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, man. Holy, keeping the commandments and the laws of the Most High, acceptable unto the Most High. That's what's acceptable to the Most High, that we do what he say do, which is your reasonable service. It's no big deal to do this. He said, and be not conformed to this world. You see? He said, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's why I say, gird up your, just we in Romans. We ain't not in Peter's, we in Romans. He said, hey, gird up your mind, man. He said, renewing of your mind, changing, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable. We know what's good. He just said the law is holy, the commandment holy and just and good. Still, you're not going to avoid dealing with the Most High's commandments and his laws that he wrote with his finger, y'all. We in the New Testament, but it's still dealing with keeping of the commandments of the Most High, renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. Straight up. That's what it's about. Going back to 1 Peter 1. And read 14 again. As obedient children, doing what he say do, though. Keeping his rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments. Not fastening yourselves according to the form of lust in your ignorance, when you didn't know. Man, he told us, man, many times. He told us this, man. We just get caught up in our little fantasy world or this world. This world had you all jacked up, man. It have you really jacked up. You be like, man, that was me. I was like that. Yeah, this is how we all were one time, man. Can't really look at ourselves too high-minded at all, man. We jacked up, man. 1 Corinthians 12 and 2. 1 Corinthians 12 and 2 said, you know, don't you know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols? That's what I'm trying to get us to stop dealing with these dumb idols now, man. Even as you were led, you've been led to believe that, LORD is, not BAAL. You're going to keep on doing it and offending the Most High. Say, you're going to be shamed, man. You're going to still say VERILY and TRULY, going back to AMEN, meaning AMEN, well, you don't even have to say it. But they put it in there, and I'm showing you many times that you don't even have to say that. But they put it in there so you be calling on their God. Regardless of how you look at it. You still calling on their power. And we got to stop this, man. You know that you were Gentiles. Some of you were in all these different religions and so forth. Why I call it Christian insanity. No offense, because they still my brothers and sisters. But it's still got to come out of that mindset. When we say renewing of your mind, gird up your mind, man. You know that you were Gentiles, carried away of these dumb idols, all these different religions and so forth, even as you were led. Somebody led you into believing like you believe, right? Somebody influenced us. Come over here, listen to this. Come to my church. Come over here, go down there. You got to be baptized. You got to do this, you got to do that, whatever, whatever, whatever. You were led into that. Dumb idols, man. When you start to learn the truth, you know good and well. You look back and you can look at our people that's still dealing with them dumb idols, being ignorant in gross darkness. That's why we got to come out of it, man. Look, 1 Peter 1:15. But as he which have called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation. That's deep. So we know holy is, the law is holy, the commandment is holy. The Most High wrote the commandments, so he's holy. So be ye holy. Keep the commandments and the laws of the Most High. It's saying, in all manner of conversation. That's why we got to be looking at, man. You got to understand, man. Sure. Exodus 34:14. But thou shalt worship no other power, for the Most High, whose name is jealous. It's a jealous power. You hear that? You better be knowing about the Most High. And once you know him, it's one thing to say repent and keep the commandments, but it's another thing to know who wrote the commandments. And not just looking at, Israel, because, man, we ain't going to say, look, real quick, just so you know, because I say it, I want to prove it, so you know, because some of y'all depending on man. After y'all exalt man more than you do the Most High. His name is jealous. You would say he's a jealous power. Whose name is jealous. You know? I don't want nobody to be able to put me in a spot that I'm even thought of. Before the Most High, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. Man, no way. And the spirit of the Most High, the angels of the Most High better get out of here. Deuteronomy 28:29, just in case some of y'all exalt man more than y'all do the Most High. I hear y'all talk about man more than you do the Most High. Listen. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. And listen at this. And no man shall save thee. You better tell some people this. And no man shall save thee. Ain't no man gonna save us. That's why it's so important to tap into the Most High, y'all. He the only one. Even on my side, don't know when he's gonna leave the right hand side of the Most High to come and judge and make war. Only the Most High know. That's it. He the only one. Look, let's continue. I want to go a little bit more on this. 1 Peter 1:16 said, because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. Keep the commandments of the Most High. Keep the laws of the Most High. We define that in Romans 7:12. That's why I say these definitions of these words that's from the Bible, you can't gainsay on it. Nobody can gainsay on it. If ye call on the Father, who without respect of persons judges according to every man's work, past the time of your sojourning here in fear. Man, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Ecclesiastes 12:13. All praise to the Most High. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Pass our sojourning in this world that we in now with fear of the Most High. Pass our sojourning in this world that we in with fear of the Most High. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. He say, fear the Most High and keep his commandments. But this is the whole duty of man. Y'all better learn to fear the Most High, man. That means you better be afraid. You better be scared of the Most High. Highly respect him. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment. That work is what we done concerning him. That we keep his rules and regulations. Y'all know about rules and regulations. Did you do that? For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing. Ain't nothing being hid from the Most High. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man, and even the secret parts. Even the secret things, it says. Every secret thing. Whether it be good, we know what's good. Commandment. The law is holy, commandments holy, and just and good. Whether it be good, whether you kept the commandments of the Most High, kept the laws of the Most High, or whether it was evil, you didn't. Straight up. Simple as that, man. So it's sad. Because the Most High told us, we got to fear him. And that's it. Supposed to fear nothing else. He told us in 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Most High has not given us the spirit of fear. That's why I don't fear nothing else. You fear him. The conclusion don't matter. Fear the Most High. You fear him only. When you fear him, you're going to keep his commandments. You're going to do what he say do. You're going to be in line with him. His rules and regulations, right? But the Most High has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power. That's spiritual power. For those that understand, y'all about Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, Most High, about Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, power of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, about Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, but that spiritual power that comes from the Most High. And of love. Of love. What's love? 1 John. No, 2 John 6. Go right there. 2 John 6. Right to the point. And this is love. That we walk after his commandments. That's what he's given us. That we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that, as ye have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it. That's love. Keeping all the commandments of the Most High. 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Most High has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. You see? That's why when you look at this fear that's talking about in 1 Peter 1:17, it's talking about the fear of the Most High. 1 Peter 1:17, and if you call on the Father, who without respect of persons, Most High don't respect the persons, man. People think Most High got to respect them because you done learned something. Man, Most High don't care about us, man. Not like that. Now, when we offended him from the garden all the way to now, and we ain't even talk about him enough, isn't that hear what he said? Did y'all hear what he just said? Or did you hear him? See, Most High's name is jealous. Do y'all know what jealous means? Oh, something come before him? A jealous power. Come on, man. Just don't take a rocket science to figure it out. I done figured it out. All you got to do is come back to that order. Most High, Mashayach Yahawashi, man and woman. As soon as we come back to that order and recognize that ain't no man going to save us, and whatever you think you know, uplifting yourself, I say knowledge puffers up, man. Knowledge don't mean nothing if you ain't looking at the Most High, man. Why he say, man? And if we call on the Father, who without respect of persons, what does that mean to you? He got to have respect to you because you done learn some precepts? Are you serious? How many men I done seen come and go? No more precepts probably than all of us put together. Bugged out. You got to endure to the end, man. And you got to be humble with a broken and contrite spirit. And if you call on the Father, who without respect of persons, man, look. And that's serious right there. But that hits home. I don't know how to hear with y'all. That hit home. Looking at that, man. I mean, like, man. Colossians 3:25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done. And there is no respect of persons. That's from the Most High. He that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done. And there is no respect of persons. That's why he said it to it. That's why he said it, man. Going back to First Peter's 1:17. And if we call on the Father, who without respect of persons, who the Most High respect on? Or what? Exodus 2:25. Say no individual thing, man. It's about this right here. And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them. We as a nation, man, not no individual. He told no individuals, man. He took the righteous and the wicked and put them into captivity. Understand this, man. It ain't like you got no past because you learning some scriptures, man. Understand this, man. We got to endure to the end. We got to learn how to change our way of thinking. Point blank. I look at a lot of these brothers, I'll be like, man, y'all take me back to the 90s. Like, man, I'm in the 90s again. Seem like. But it is what it is. That's why I say, pass the time of your sojourning in this captivity here in fear. It says, for as much as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, ain't nothing any way you're going to buy your way into the kingdom of heaven. We wasn't redeemed with money, silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers. Hear that? From your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers. That's serious right there, man. That's why I tell you in Ecclesiastes 3:24, but many are deceived by their own vain opinion. And in evil, that's the devil, suspicion, is overthrown their judgment. Make them make the wrong decision. And what do you think? That's what it's all about, y'all. We got to think better. We got to think. We got to become analytical thinkers. We are the lights of the world. Everybody got to follow our lead. They got to learn from us. Ain't learning from them no more, man. You can if you want to. They got to learn from us. As it is written, man. That's why we look at Isaiah 29:13. Isaiah 29:13. See, we've been duped too long, man. We've been bamboozled too long, man. As Malcolm said, man, we're gonna be Shanghai too long. Been ran amok too long. It's time to come out of this ignorance, not knowing, this darkness, being stupid. Look at what it says. Isaiah 29:13. Wherefore the Most High said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, yeah, they sound good, sound like they believe in him, sound like they want to, trust in him and praise the Most High, praise Jesus, praise whoever. Some you don't even know. It's all praises. APTTMH. People don't know that. And they put it there. Made him an initial. Whatever you pray the Most High, say, what initial was that? What initial was that? Where they at? Well, they're in where they in Cambodia? Where they at? In Alaska? Initial. Okay, your initials. BTM. Well, there's some BTMs in South Africa. There's some BTMs in Europe. BTM. That's you. God done made the most high so significant as being just initials. The MH. TMH. Not the, but TMH. Which not the most high. TMH. Come on, man. We got to do better. Oh, yeah. See, y'all leaving now because it hit you. You know, you can't tell me, you can't justify not giving the Most High all the praise that you can. All praises. You can't say all praise to the Most High. Come on, man. This is real. How do you think the Most High feel about that? You can't say you can't say he know who I'm talking about. And you can say it. How many times? Let's go back to this lesson. See how many times I said all praise to the Most High. I'm a praiser. I'm sincere about what I'm saying. Because it's real. Man, his name is jealous. We ain't nothing. Come on, who are you? Talk to me. Why y'all ain't boasting about who you are concerning the Most High? You say nobody saying nothing. And I'm talking to everybody besides who's on this line right now. See, nobody say nothing. But some of you say, "Oh, I don't think I'm nothing. I don't think I'm nothing. I'm just talking about the Most High. I'm sincere about who I'm talking about. And I feel it right here, man. I mean, you can't feel nothing, then hey, that's on you. He gonna deal with you. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of living power, especially now. When Jacob's trouble getting ready to come around. Look, here we are. This is what y'all done dealt with, man. Wherefore the Most High said, as for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart, which is their thoughts, their minds far from me. And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. That's who's teaching you. The precepts of men, man. 2 Corinthians 7:1. Y'all following men. Follow what these scriptures say. Follow this. Hold up. Now, before you go there, follow this. Since I've been saying I'm talking a lot of stuff, right? It ain't boasting. I just have the spirit. I love the Most High. I don't know how y'all feel. I love it. I'm talking about him, and I want everybody else to start putting him in their conversation and really looking at what it is that he says in these scriptures, man, to apply them in our life. We can get out of here. Set up a righteous kingdom on this earth. Stop having to deal with all this wickedness that we have to deal with, man, just to make it. Ecclesiastes 43:29. The Most High is terrible. What does that mean to you? He said the Most High is terrible. What does that mean to you? He's not terrible? The Most High is terrible and very great and marvelous in his power, man. We're talking about the Most High right here. Brother's talking about what? Well, where you see the Most High by himself? Here he is right here. Can you hear? Huh? He said, look, when ye, that's us, glorify the Most High, to exalt him with as much as you can. What part of that you doing? He said, when you glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as you can. For even yet will ye far exceed, man. You can't even far exceed exalt him, man. They say, and when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength. What does that mean? All praise the Most High. APTT, man. All praises, TMH, you know. I mean, he said, when you exalt him, put forth all your strength and be not weary, for ye can never, hear this? You can never go far enough, man. Who has seen him? Which one of you seen the Most High? That ye might tell us. And who can magnify him as he is? He said the earth was his footstool. He said the heavens can't contain him. And they can't go past the ozone layer, man. You know, that dome they got all this world that we in right now, man. He said the earth is a footstool. So you take your heel and put on that earth is like his heel is on the earth. Can y'all feel that? Nope. Hopefully some of you can. Spiritually, man. Shoot, better understand what I'm talking about. But see, I talk about a precept of men. You better hear what he said. So when you exalt the Most High, exalt him as much as you can. And put forth all your strength. You know, my neighbors probably say, that nigga, he hollering again. They go to this class. But one thing I have respect for him, they respect when I have class. You don't hear all that. You don't hear a bunch of noise. You don't hear a lot of stuff going on. They respect this word. All praise to the Most High. It's like that. 2 Corinthians 7:1. 2 Corinthians 7:1. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved. So who's it talking to? It's a having therefore these promises, dearly beloved. Who's it talking to? If thou knowest. Dearly beloved. That's what I'm telling you, through the Spirit of the Most High, all praise to the Most High, that these definitions are very important to define these words by the Bible. You can't gainsay on it. Dearly beloved. Who to be loved? And where you find the beloved at? See, y'all just, sometimes I feel like I'm just a little preacher. But I'm glad I have people that's outside from y'all not participating, that they participate. Because, you know, certain things have been brought. It would be great if you participated to be able to show that, okay, well, you got it. It ain't just going out void to you. So why? I mean, I could just do what I'm doing. I could do this anytime, but just put it out there. Boom. And I have to deal with, you know, communicating with no one. Just look at what it is. And I got so much information to bring out. I think I need to do that. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, who are the Israelites. How do you prove who the beloved are? How do you prove who the beloved is? Say, dearly beloved. Who the beloved? You know what scripture? Okay. Now, I asked it again, you should know. Some of you might be new. So we're going to go to Baruch 3:36. And it's clear. I want to say, when you precept, and you, like I'm saying, who is the dearly beloved? Who are the beloved? When you precept, it should be right on point. Bam. No questions asked. Here it is. Baruch 3:36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and hath given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved. You see that? The Israelites are his beloved. You see, beloved is talking to the Israelites. It's talking about the Israelites. Remember that. It's very important, you know. And I can't take credit for nothing because I'm just flowing as the Spirit tell me to flow. All praise to the Most High. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. You know, Mashayach Yahawashi, my big brother, that's rolling in the Spirit of the Most High. Having therefore these promises, 2 Corinthians 7:1. Dearly beloved Israelites. Israel, my beloved. Dearly beloved Israelites, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of the Most High, perfecting keeping of the Most High's commandments and laws, where he defined in Romans 7:12. To be holy, it says the law is holy, the commandment holy and just and good. Okay? That's why it's saying perfecting the commandments and the laws of the Most High in the fear of the Most High. And to be afraid of him and scared of him to do what he say do, his rules and regulations. That's what it's telling us. Leviticus 11 chapter deal with the dietary law. Anyone that didn't know, you can go to Deuteronomy 11th chapter and it'll tell you what's clean and what's unclean for us to eat. Okay. Now, verse 11 and go to the end. Verse 44. For I am the Most High, your power. Your is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership, talking to the children of Israel, point blank. Leviticus 11, let's find out. Leviticus, who he's talking to? Leviticus 11, 1 and 2. And the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel. Okay? Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts that are on the earth. Okay? He's giving you the beasts that are clean and unclean. Now, going back to Leviticus 11 and 44, after he's given us all this, you can read it on your own. It says, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It says, for I am the Most High, your power. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourself, clean yourselves up. The Mashayach said in St. John 15 and 3, now you are clean through the word that I was speaking to thee. Sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy. For I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourself with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, different insects and all that madness, man. For I am the Most High that bringeth you out, bringing you up out of the land of Egypt to be your power. Yours a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. Talking to the children of Israel. We read that in Leviticus 11 and 2. Your power. Ye shall therefore be holy. You shall therefore keep the commandments of the Most High, keep the laws of the Most High. You see how we had to go to the New Testament in Romans 7 and 12 to define holy? Right here. That's because they only had the law and the prophets to go by. When anybody walked the earth, they didn't read no New Testament. They only had the law and the prophets. Look, let me show you. Acts 13 and 15. Acts 13 and 15, and after the reading of the law and the prophets, where we at in the New Testament? The rulers of the synagogue sent unto them, saying, ye men and brethren, if ye have any word of exhortations for the people, say on. Then Paul, the one that most people believe in, most so than Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, stood up and started to beckon with his hand to talk to the Israelites, man. This is all about. They only had the law and the prophets. There was no New Testament. They compiled these books in 325 AD. And Revelation was written between 90 and 96 AD. Well, see, everybody was gone. They already crucified all the apostles. Shoot, the Bible stopped in 65 AD. From 65 AD, approximately 65 to 70 AD, man, we was at war. And we fell in 70 AD. So going back to Leviticus 11 and 55, for I am the Most High that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your power. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beast and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Come on. A lot of these nations, man, they don't care about whatever it is. They eat whatever. And that's why some things, man, it was like, so I was like, hey, don't worry about it. Don't, we can't eat it. He told us in Exodus 23 and 31, he said, and ye shall be holy. You keep hearing this word holy. You shall be holy men unto me. You shall keep the commandments and the laws that the Most High wrote with his finger unto him, the Most High. Neither shall you eat any flesh that is torn of beast. Hear that? Neither shall you eat any flesh that is torn of beast in the field. Like an animal that kill like a animal kill a deer and ate all it want and left the carcass there. you shall cast it to the dogs. We can't eat everything, but dogs can. And it says our anatomy is not the same, y'all. He didn't make us the same. He didn't make us the same as everybody. Say whatever. You better ask your doctor when you go there, is your anatomy just like mine? Do y'all use melanated mice to check out these medications, or do you use albino mice, white mice, to check out this particular chemical, what it'll do? Think about it. I've been there. I've been there many years, man. How to deal with this, man. Look what it says in David prophesied, and he said, cast it to the dogs. You have roadkill. That's what they call roadkill. He says I'm dead on a animal, like, a deer or whatever. Boom, they hit them, and then the animal ate a little bit out of it or whatever. That's roadkill. He said, hey, cast it to the dogs, right? Look what it say. Psalm 22:16. David prophesied about a Mashayach on that tree. They crucified him on that tree, right? He said, for dogs have compassed me. You know that? For dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They who are dogs pierced my hands and my feet. That's what it says. So who pierced his hands and feet? If I might ask. Now, we can't eat everything. That's why I said we have strict rules and regulations that we have to go by. Who pierced my Mashayach's hands and feet? Oh, y'all scared to answer, huh? The Romans. They don't want to put him to death. Now, I looked up dog in the New English Bible Dictionary. I didn't write it. It says, in the East, dog is used for impure and profane persons. It was used by the Jews respecting the Gentiles. You see? It says, those that are shut out of the kingdom of heaven are also called dogs. Revelation 22:15, on account of their vileness, probably a reference to homosexuality. Now, that's what the New English Bible Dictionary says pertaining to dogs. You say you can cast it into the dogs. And David is saying, for dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me, they pierced my hands and my feet. That's what he's saying right there. We can't eat everything. We can't eat, like I said, remember said, tell the children of Israel, told Moses and Aaron to tell us, the children of Israel, these are clean and these are unclean. We can't eat everything. But remember, the heathen know we went to captivity for our iniquity. That's why God pork to otherwise meat. They, contaminating everything. Well, we got to read all the labels and all that stuff. We got to read it because, hey, they defiled everything. Acts 20 and 28. Acts 20 and 28. We got to be holy. You want to make it to the kingdom? You got to keep the commandments, the laws of the Most High. Acts 20, 28. Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves and to all the flock, over the which the Holy Spirit has made you overseers, like myself, to feed the church, which really, that's a new word, church. It's really congregation. You said congregation of the Most High, which he had purchased, of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, Salakia, of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, which he had purchased with his own blood. You hear that? He purchased with us with his own blood. That flock. Because we're sheep. He the shepherd. Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves and to all the flock, over the which the Holy Spirit has made you overseers, overseeing the sheep, to feed the church of the Most High, which he have purchased with his own blood. So how you get anybody else? Okay, we got to find that church. In Acts 7, 37 and 38. Who that church is talking about? Yeah, he have what? He said he have made us overseers to feed the church of the Most High, which he have purchased with his own blood. Who the church? Acts 7:37 and 38. This is he. This is that Moses, which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Most High your power raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, y'all. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel. Who was in the church in the wilderness? Who was in the wilderness? The children of Israel. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness, the children of Israel, with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. Oh, yeah, that's the church, man, the children of Israel, point blank. Now let's look at Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Got to be holy, man. Got to keep the laws and the commandments of the Most High. The Most High wrote them laws with his finger. That's his work that he done. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. But thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. When we do what he say do, we keep his laws, statutes, commandments. Leviticus 19 and 1 and 2. Leviticus 19 and 1 and 2. That's how we're going to make it to the kingdom. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the congregations, like I told you, that's what it said. He put church for the New Testament, the congregation of the children of Israel, and saying to them, ye shall be holy. See that? You hear it over and over again. We got to keep the commandments of the Most High and the laws of the Most High, as defined in Romans 7 and 12 in the New Testament. The definition of holy. The law is holy, the commandment holy and just and good. Speaking to the congregation of the children of Israel. That's what I said. It should say congregation of the children of Israel. And saying to them, ye shall be holy. Ye shall keep the laws and the commandments of the Most High. For I, the Most High, your power, am holy. See? 1 John 3 and 3. 1 John 3 and 3. And every man that has his hope in him purify himself even as he is pure, man. We gotta purify ourselves by what? By keeping the word of the Most High. That's why I say, look, let's go to verse 1. It said, behold, what matter of love the Father, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, have been talking about all night, have bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of the Most High. That we should be called the sons of the Most High. Now, anybody can be the son of the Most High? We shall be called the sons of the Most High. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. You know? We should be called the sons of the Most High. And the world don't know us as the sons of the Most High because it knew him not. It said, who would say? Beloved. Oh. You see how important these words and definition are? How you gonna gainsay on it's talking about anybody but the Israelites? That's why we went to what scripture to prove the beloved? Because it say that we should be called the sons of the Most High. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. It said, beloved. Beloved. Who to beloved? the children of Israel. We just defined it in Baruch 3:36. Israel, my beloved. You see how simple that is? It's very important. Beloved. See? Israelites. Now are we the sons of the Most High. And it does not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. For we shall see him as he is. When he appear, so we're going to be like him. And we're going to see him as he is. And every man that has this hope in him purified himself even as he is pure. Only way you're going to purify yourself is to come back to the Most High, first and foremost. Start believing in him. Start talking about him. Start feeling him. Start praising him. Start exalting him. Because you want to be that remnant, show you. This is what the remnant going to be doing. You don't already have, like I'm saying, this is just, prophets came and said, told us what time it was. They put them to death. They put them to death. They would tell them prophecy of what's going to happen. And we just said they had the spirit of a Mashayach. Put them to death, man. We did. Now this remnant, he won't be this remnant. But what they going to do? Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven. When we talk about the kingdom of heaven, they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. We defined that cloud earlier. If you don't get it, go back and really look at the whole lesson. It's all going to fit in like a story. Some going to ascend, going to go up into the sky in the cloud, in the chariot of the Most High, as defined in Psalms 104 and 3. And their enemies beheld them. Are we seeing us? Our enemies ain't going up in the chariots. They're going to be looking up at us, going up in the chariots. In the same hour, when the chariots, was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, and a remnant, hear that? And the remnant, not all 12 tribes, every last one of them, it say the remnant were affrighted and did what? And gave glory to the most high power of heaven. There it is right there, y'all. And give glory to the most high power of heaven. So now, right quick, let's look at the sons of the Most High. I got to go out to camp tomorrow. St. John, let me just give you an example of the sons of the Most High, how you become a sons of the Most High. Mashayach let us know here in St. John 1 and 11. This is what most Christian sanity religions go to. They say he came into his own in John 1:11, and his own received him not. That would say they're not going to be a Jew because the Jews killed him. And they quote the scripture. He came into his own received him not. Right? But they don't go into verse 12. It says, but as many as received him, as many that receive Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, like I am, and a lot of you are, have the true testimony of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi in the volume of the book, but as many as received him, so that you know that some of us received him. Everybody didn't reject him, or the Israelites. But as many as received him, that's why they had to get him, on the Passover when everybody was inside the house. The next day, everybody coming together, they would have knew. They couldn't do it then. On the 15th, they killed him on the 14th of the first month. They say, but as many as received him, to them gave he power, that spiritual power right there, to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on his name. But that's in the name of the anointed Savior. That's by SHAM Mashayach Yahawashi. Because he said in John 14 and 6, he said, I am the way. Much I would say, said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. That no man come up to the Father but by me. There is no New Testament. If you go to the time he's saying this, how can he say that? He said, no man come to the Father but by me. How can he say that? And he said it when he's in the flesh. During the time that he walked the earth in his ministry between 30 and 33 years old. So he said in verse 13, he said, whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. This is how you become the sons of the Most High. When you start calling on Yahweh by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, or Most High by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, in his name. Simple as that. That's why even when you go back to the first sons of the Most High, going back to Genesis, I'm just about over here. I'm just about closing it out here. Genesis, the 4th chapter, and verse 25, 26. Now we know that Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. So when you read the story here, Cain was kicked out of the garden. So now here you look at in verse 25 of Genesis 4th chapter, it says, and Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. Right? So Adam and Eve had Seth. For the Most High said, she have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also was born a son, and he called his name Enos. It says, when Enos was born, he said, then began men to call upon Most High by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, name of the Most High. That's how you reach the Most High. That's how you receive the spiritual power from the Most High. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Mashayach just told you, ain't no man come to the Father but by him. He said, you ask anything by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, I would do it, that the Father be glorified in the Son. You ask anything in my name, I would do it. If you love me, keep my commandments, do what I say do. And become the sons of the Most High. You see that? There it is right there. So that's a little something. And I want to look at one more thing before we close this out, because it is the new moon. We're going to write feast. I just want to show something because, like I said initially, I don't think Ha Mashayach Yahawashi will give us I know it's going to hit a lot of people up wrong because y'all don't really look too deep into spiritual things, but he's not going to give us anything that's wrong. That could be an abomination. Wouldn't you say? If he didn't sin, he's not going to give us something that is a sin. Right? A parable, whatever. You read this parable and you think you're telling you it's a sin? Look, he said in Matthew 25, since we're dealing with that, I got a few more minutes to say, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. 10 virgins, one man. The bridegroom is like when you go to a marriage, and 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. The wise had the oil in their lamps, and they had, oil in their, just in case the oil ran out, they had, extra oil. While the bridegroom tarried, this one man, while he tarried, meaning he took a long time to come, they all slumbered and slept. Lost the laws, commandments, and all that. Went to sleep in darkness, gross darkness at that, gross ignorance. And at midnight, there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, he coming, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. These are all Ha Mashayach Yahawashi's words. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. So I'm not sharing my oil with you. There be not enough for, like I said, you could go back to the first lesson that I've done, and it'll give you more understanding spiritually, because I broke it down spiritually. I went through all these scriptures and broke it all the way down spiritually with other scriptures. I'm just going through this for a purpose, because I'm saying that Mashayach would not give us something that is an abomination, because some of you think it's an abomination for what he's saying. You know, that's 10 women with one man, having one man. Think about it. That's the story that he's telling. That's a parable. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. Verse 8. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. That's the man that's getting ready to get married. And they that were ready went in with him. And they that were ready, who were the ones that was ready? That's going in with him to the marriage. And the door was shut. Think about that. They that were ready, that's the 5 that had oil. And the door was shut. Now, this is our custom. Look at 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Ezra is dealing with a woman, and she couldn't get pregnant. Let's look at verse 2nd Ezra 9 and 45. After 30 years, the Most High heard me, thine handmaid, looked upon my misery, considered my trouble, and gave me a son. And I was very glad of him. So was my husband also, and all my neighbors. And that's 30 years they're trying to get pregnant. Wow. And we gave great honor unto the Almighty. And I nourished him with great travail. So when he grew up and came to the time that he should have a wife, I made a feast. This is just like our what we call receptions. Only the feast come before the reception. She made a feast. Listen to what it says. 2nd Ezra 10 and 1. Just showing you that same thing as Mashayach Yahawashi saying right here. In verse 10 of Matthew 25. And while they went to buy, the ones that didn't have any oil, the 5 that didn't have any oil, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready, those 5 virgins, went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Now, it's a parable, but he's not going to give us a parable that's an abomination, or that's a filthy, wicked act, or that's sin. Understand what I'm saying? So what is this? They went to the marriage, and the door was shut. This is the way it was, y'all. 2nd Ezra 10 and 1. So she made a feast for her son as he was getting ready to marry his wife. 2nd Ezra 10 and 1. And it so came to pass that when my son was entered into his wedding chamber, he fell down and died. Oh, sad. But see, the wedding chamber, that's how we operated. Just like if you know the story of our forefather Jacob, he worked a long time for Rachel. And when it was come to time, he thinking that he get ready to marry Rachel, Laman put Leah in the wedding chamber. Everybody outside, you know, lights out, dark and everything. And Jacob married Leah. thinking it was Rachel. We realized it wasn't. But that's our custom. Now, I'll let you meditate on this. Go to this. When you think about this. Y'all know the story about King David. Like I said, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi gave that parable. So you gotta say he's wrong and what he did, whatever, but make this be wrong. In 2 Samuel, the 12th chapter. You know, King David, before he was, he was king, he looked on his balcony, he looked down, and tell you the story, it's late. He looked on the balcony, he seen Bathsheba, who was Uriah's wife, taking a bath. And he called her up to him and he laid with her. He laid with her, he committed adultery. And she got pregnant. And she came back and told him, I'm pregnant. Uriah's out there with his soldiers fighting the war. To when Uriah, she done told David that she's pregnant. So David plotted a scheme. So when Joab came out for the war, he said, hey, told Uriah, her husband, first go home to your wife. So if you think about it, he went home to his wife, laid with her. You can say, oh, that's your baby. It would have been David's baby, right? No. But Uriah said, no, your man is steady. I'm going to stay right here with the soldiers. He didn't go home, right? So now David got to face that. So he had Uriah put on the front of the line, and Ammonites shot from the walls and killed him. Put him on the front. He had his men go put him in the front and had him killed. He had him murdered. Then he was able to have Bathsheba. And the Most High killed their first baby. And guess who came next? King Solomon. So now, look. So the Most High goes, send Nathan, the prophet, to talk to King David here. Listen to what he said. 2 Samuel 12:1. And the Most High sent Nathan unto David. And he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing save one little ewe lamb. The rich man had what? Exceeding many flocks and herds. Keep that in mind. But the poor man had nothing save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up. And it grew up together with him and with his children. It did eat of its own meat and drank of his own cup and lay in his bosom and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock, of his own herd, the dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was come to him. He only had one lamb, but he had what? Many flocks and herds. But he took the poor man's lamb, killed it, and dressed it for the man that was visiting. Verse 5. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as the Most High liveth, the man that hath done this thing shall surely die. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold. 4 lambs instead of 1. Because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus said the Most High, power of Israel. I anointed, this is what the Most High tell him, that I is the Most High. I anointed thee over Israel. And I, that's the Most High, delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. And I, this the Most High. And I, that's the Most High, gave thee thy master's house and thy master's, Salaki Most High. We supposed to be saying that. That word is part of going into BAL2, Salaki. I'm going to change it to Saul. Okay, Saul's, okay? Instead of that, because let me show you that, just in case some of you don't know, you might not know. When you look at BAAL, it means MASTER. See that? It's from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. So, Salakia Messiah, so much ago. So I'm gonna just say Saul's. This Saul's, that's what we're talking about. He said, verse 8, he said, this second Samuel 12 and 8. And I gave thee Saul's house, and thy ruler, thy king's wives. You see that? And I gave you Saul's wives, plural. Who is that I, if I might ask? You can't gainsay on that. He said, I gave thee thy ruler's house. King Saul was over everybody. And thy ruler's wives, plural, into thy bosom. And he already had wives from Hebron and Jerusalem. David had many wives. He already had a lot of wives. That's why he was saying, had many flocks and herds. He already had wives. He said, I gave thee thy ruler's house and thy ruler's wives, plural, y'all. That's what the Most High said he did unto thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah, the northern tribes and the southern tribes, all 12 tribes of Israel. Listen to what he say. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. So, see, I gave you more wives. I'd gave you more houses. But no. But the Most High is very merciful. I just wanted to show you that Ha Mashayach Yahawashi gave that parable there. And you look at Isaiah 4 and 1. That's why, like I say, we got to change our minds. And a lot of this don't even apply to you. It don't even apply to some of y'all, man. A lot of us, they don't apply to none of us. Really, I mean, that's really tripping. The most people that trip hardest, most of them ain't got no man. Most of them ain't got no woman. Or your woman ain't gonna allow you to be able to deal with what it says. Well, how are you gonna make it in the kingdom that it says this? Explain to me, because even though it's not a part of what it is that we're dealing with, some are dealing with this now. But if it's not, then you gotta explain this to me. Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. We just seen 5 that Ha Mashayach Yahawashi said went into the wedding chamber and he shut the door. That wedding chamber. That was 5. But he said here, in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread, our own food, and wear our own apparel. They will come out of pants and wear them dresses. Only let us be called by thy name. Isn't a woman called by the man's last name? Or a man's name? To take away our reproach. Come on. Ain't gonna be no crying. I mean, you're gonna take away all that. Look, ain't gonna be no crying in the kingdom. Reproach me disgrace. Gonna be disgrace, man. When Jacob's trouble come down, you're gonna realize, man, it's gonna be a whole nother spirit on this earth. Ain't gonna be like y'all, all y'all high-minded thinking you all that right now. When they start chopping everything away from us, man, you're gonna see, whoa, wow, what am I gonna do now? You're gonna see it appear. 7 is number of completion. Complete number of women. Gonna take hold of one man, it said, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name. I mean, they're gonna be married to the man to take away our reproach. That's plural. Let us. That's not let me. Let us. 7 women. Let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. That's serious, man. He's going to ordain it this time, man. Even if it's not now for you or me. or any of us. You still have to accept that. You don't accept it, how is this going to happen? I ask women all the time, are you ready for this? I'm talking only to the women that have children. You ready for this? Y'all give me an answer. Isaiah 60:21. It says, thy people also in the kingdom shall be all righteous, and be keeping the commandments of the Most High, keeping the laws of the Most High. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planet. That's the Most High planet. The work of my hands, that I may be glorified. I'm telling y'all, what is it? What did the remnant do on the chariots? And we just read in Revelation 11 and 13. What they do? They glorified the Most High. Now he might be glorified, y'all. It don't change. It's the same thing. Listen what it say. A little one shall become 1,000. A little one gonna become 1,000. How is that? What woman is willing to put forth and bring forth 1,000 children? A little one. It ain't say many. It ain't really ones. It didn't say little ones. It say little one. Little one shall become 1,000. And a small one, a strong nation. I, the Most High, will hasten it in his time, y'all. Thus say the Most High. I mean, like I say, it don't apply to everyone, but you got to accept it. Or how you going to be in the kingdom? How are you going to be in the kingdom and you don't accept this? You don't accept that part. That's a part that a lot of people don't accept. And a lot of men don't accept it because their woman don't let them accept it. They're weak in that aspect. But you got to break it down. I mean, well, my mindset, if it's going to happen in the kingdom, happen now, we still got to accept all of it. We got to eat the whole thing. You can't just say, throw that away. How you going to be in the kingdom and you don't believe that? And happy new month, everyone, and let's grow. And I'll see everybody tomorrow at 1:30 Most High Will, p.m. Pacific Time, 2:30 Mountain Time, 3:30 Central Time, and 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Right here, same channels. And give a like before you leave up out of here. Give a like. Don't be mad at me. I'm just reading. I'm just bringing it about, giving understanding. I just know this. We got to eat the whole roll. We got to eat the whole thing. Shoot fit, wear it. If don't wear it, don't fit, don't wear it, but accept it. Point blank. That's why I look at it. Because most I talk about us all the time. He killed us. Men. We ain't do what happened, put us to death, man, easily. So keep that in mind, y'all. With that, I say, Crumb Most High. Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Crumb Mashayach Yahawashi. And Crumb Yasharella. And I'll see you tomorrow, Most High Will. Shalom.